I don't want you guys to. There it is. All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? And welcome back to another Yapping Podcast as your host, Angel X24X or Austin. You guys can call me whichever. Actually, I'm going to move it because I want you guys to, I want to look at the screen. So, let me turn that off. So we got a couple things to talk about. I don't remember the last stream that we had. That is one of the topics I want to talk to you guys about today. So let's actually go ahead and put that in the chat. Number one, obviously you guys can see it in the title, but boom. Problem, and then 3. Yeah, we got a good one today. Gets all over the spectrum. So if you're new to streaming or trying to do content, YouTube, TikTok, the first topic's going to be for you. If you like playing video games, the second topic will be for you. And then if you like getting into fitness, the third topic will be for you. But if you want to watch all, please enjoy. We only do about an hour here. So again, let's get a couple things out of the way. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I post... I do streams more or less, but I do have a bunch of YouTube videos on there. You guys can go check those out. And then I have TikTok channels. Those links will be in the description. Go check those out. I have a bunch of different types of channels. You know, one's for fitness, one's for sports, one's for gaming. So if you guys want to go check those out, link is in the description. But with that being said, let's dive right into the first topic. Okay, so the first topic is obviously streaming struggles. And what I want to elaborate on is I want to say that, like, I don't want it to be like that I don't like streaming in itself. Okay. I actually enjoy streaming. I would enjoy streaming a lot more if I had more people watching the stream, right? That's a fair statement, because obviously streaming to yourself is a lot more consistent. Like, you're focused on the game. Like, if no one's in the chat, then you're really not going to be talking, right? Now, I know that, like, you know, a lot of content creators, you know, that's one of their first talking points. Practice how to talk when nobody's there. And it's, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, nah, like it's like, that doesn't make sense. You know, you're not going to go to a show and there's nobody in the stands and you're just going to talk. Like, you're just not going to do that. You're going to get off. And so that's one of the struggles that I have run into. But the second struggle is the main struggle about streaming is the games. And I've been thinking about this, honestly, the past couple days. And the reason why, let's do a little backstory. The reason why I started streaming this past year, well, these past 6 months, is because I really enjoyed playing Call of Duty. I play Madden, you know, for the 2 months that it was. I would play 2K for the 2 months that it was. I would dabble in different games. I'd play Battlefield, but mainly I play Call of Duty. And I was good at Call of Duty. Up until, I want to say 2019, when Modern Warfare, the new, you know, Modern Warfare 2019 came out. Like, and that goes into our second topic. But ever since that game, I haven't really enjoyed those games. All right. And so, but in my head, I was like, okay, well, obviously understanding that, like, I wasn't playing a lot of video games, right? Like, I did not play a lot of video games in that stretch. And so there's this mental thing in my head where, you know, I'm probably not good at the games, so I need to get good at the games, and then I'll have more fun. So when it comes to the streaming aspect of it, like, I, in my head, was thinking, like, oh, I just have to play the game and I'll get good and I'll, you know, and then I'll have fun again. But that hasn't seemed to be the case for the past 6 months. Obviously I play Fortnite, and Fortnite, I get a little bit more fun out of Call of Duty, I would say, at this time. I think that's just due to the nature of the battle royale aspect. It's a different type of game mode. But Call of Duty has Warzone. And I like I said, I talked about in my previous stream, in the previous podcast, is that Battle Royale doesn't hit that niche for me. Like, it's not something that I can sit and play for 8 hours a day. Now, if you guys didn't know, I did a stream where I called it the gauntlet, and that's where I tried to get a win in random duos, or in just tried, not random, but I got a game in solos, duos, trios, and squads, and I did the stream was 9 hours, and I actually enjoyed that. I think it was because it was just a different challenge, you know. But I would argue that, like, the fun didn't come from the game itself. The fun came from the challenge that it had. And how often am I gonna wake up and do a gauntlet every day? Is that something, maybe that is something that I do every day. Maybe that's the challenge. But I don't know if I don't have 9 hours. I'm not the best Fortnite player, so I don't have 9 hours to go out there and grind. I think in some cases there was I think in the solo and duos, it took me over 10 plus games to get a win. And, I know that, like, I'm not the best Fortnite player. And, that's due to because I don't play the game all that often. The games don't seem to pull me in as much. And with that being said, streaming games that aren't that fun, like when you're streaming, to me, you would want to see the person invested into the game and in making the game content. As much as, like, people like Kai Cenat or, Phantom or, I can't even think of his name, Aiden, like, those guys don't necessarily have to play the game to have content. I'm just not that type of person. I've never been like this, like, I don't want to call it random, but, like, I just can't think of random stuff to just do. Like, it's not my nature. I stream because I want to play video games, and I feel like that I was good enough at video games, and that I had the way I play video games is a more knowledge base, not more of a skill base. And I thought I could bring value to players because let's be honest, 90 to 95% of players that play each game aren't the best at it. And a lot of them, they think that it's natural talent, and it really isn't. And a lot of the times it's about the knowledge of the game in itself that makes you good at the game. And that was me, but when I, was constantly playing the game, I also had the natural talent, right? Like, I could shoot very well. I would get into those flow states a lot more back then when I was playing the game more consistently. And so I had that in my head coming into the streaming, into this past 6 months. The other thing that I could say with it, with the streaming struggles is, the niche, right? Like, I have multiple ways that I could do a niche. So, like, obviously I could be a Call of Duty niche, or I could be a variety gamer streamer, or I could do podcasts like this and talk, and I've tried all of it, as you guys can see. And I'm not going to sit here and play the victim and be like, oh, I've tried everything. Why does it, and that doesn't work? I understand that it takes time to grow. I'm just saying that I'm going through that struggle, right? Like, it's trying to figure out, okay, does this work? Does this not work? This works, but this didn't work. And, I want everybody to know, and, what you guys can take value from is that, there is something to be said about understanding that you're going through this struggle. And, the argument's going to be, well, how do you know when to keep going and when to stop? And I'm going to be honest with you, you never know, right? Like, it just comes to you one day, it just happens. And so I guess my ask to you guys would be, whatever you're doing, whether that's streaming or making TikToks or content, like, do it when you want to do it, and don't force it. And what I mean by don't force it is, if you're mentally prepared to make a TikTok every day, and you have a routine of doing it every day, and you want to do that, then do it. But if you get to a point where, like, man, I don't feel like making a TikTok today, there's two ways you can look at it. You can beat yourself up about it and then force yourself to make a TikTok that probably isn't going to have the best quality. Or you don't make a TikTok, but then you give yourself an understanding of like, okay, well, maybe tomorrow I'll make 2 TikToks. You know, just have that conversation in your head. Just keep it in your head and have that conversation in your head and allow there to be, I guess I would call it the discipline battle, right? Like if you want to stream or if you want to make a TikTok, keep that in your head. Because if you're like, yo, I have set a goal to make a TikTok every day, then make a TikTok every day. And in your head, if you're having a day where you don't want to make a TikTok, think back to that. Like, is there a different way you can make the TikTok? Is there a TikTok that you can make that may be, you know, maybe a less work TikTok, you know, a TikTok that's easy to make, you know? But back to the streaming struggles again. Yes, that's kind of what I'm going through right now, right? Like, you know, today was one of those days where I wanted DoorDash, okay? I didn't have a DoorDash schedule for today in the morning. I went to the gym and I got back and I was tired. And so instead of like, you know, like fighting it or like feeling bad about myself, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do a stream. And that's what I'm doing. And so that's what I mean. But again, my point to the streaming struggles is that like, I definitely like question, you know, like when I come home, cause I DoorDash and I come home and I'm like, man, I did really good. I made $100. And then I'm like, do I really want to stream to like 1 or 2 viewers? And one of them's my own phone and one of them's my mom. Like I love my mom to death. And I know she loves watching me, you know, but is that productive of like my life that I want? And that's the question that happens to me. And that's the struggle that I go through. And so it's one of those things. And, you know, also I have a girlfriend. So it's like, I want her to be there. You know, like the time that I stream, I could possibly spend with her, either playing the game that we want to play or hanging out with her. And it's one of those debates in my head. And, you know, I have that question, you know, for myself, like after these 6 months, you know, is streaming something that I still want to do? And I still battle like, well, 6 months is not a long time, but I also argue that I haven't seen any, you know, my progress, right? Obviously, I have a higher standard for myself, right? Was I thinking to be, you know, a million, you know, subscriber YouTube channel in 6 months? No, you know, but, you know, a couple hundred would have been nice, right? And so like, that's the inner battle that I have with myself every day, because I could stream every day. The problem is do I want to stream every day? And you guys don't want to see someone that doesn't want to stream, right? Because I could come on here, play a match of Fortnite, get mad and angry, and you guys aren't going to enjoy that. Now, it might be funny, but do I want my content to be around that? No. Sometimes, you know, sometimes maybe a little rage might be a little bit funny, but for the most part, you know, ideally the eventual goal is to want to stream 8 hours a day, like a full-time job, right? But if I can't even get through an hour without getting annoyed at the game, y'all ain't gonna want to see that. And so to the streaming struggles, like that's kind of where my head's at, right? Like I am struggling to want to stream due to the part that like there's video games right now that I just don't enjoy playing, and that's what I want to stream. And so that's kind of where my issue is. And that's why I did this podcast, because I do like to talk. And so as I don't have a schedule for streaming every day, or not streaming every day, but having a podcast once a week, or, you know, like I honestly do it when I feel like I want to do it. What's up, Panda? Hey, I went and saw your videos and I liked your videos. Hey, the video was hilarious. The first part when you were like shaking your butt on the wall, that was hilarious. Hey, if you guys haven't checked out Panda's video, go check that out. That was hilarious. He plays hold on, I'll remember it. What is the game, bro? Like I know it. Hold on, don't say anything. Don't say it. Tarkov. See, and Panda plays a game. He plays a game that he loves, and that's good. But back to my point. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like right now, there's games that I just don't want to play. You know, and obviously with, you know, being able to watch YouTube and all the different types of, now again, this is something that I know I see. Yeah, you had to. Good stuff. Um, and see, that's where I wish I was, and that's part of my streaming struggles is just trying to, you know, like I said, my main thing is right now is there's no game that I truly love playing that like I can just stream it and like enjoy it. Like, and so like that's what I want. That's what I want. I want a game that I can love to play and stream that brings value to people that want to watch it. You know, maybe it's learning, maybe it's just the fact that like I'm able to play a game and then have people come and chit chat with me. It's just like that's kind of where my struggle's at. And that's why I haven't really been streaming a lot lately, is because, you know, I don't necessarily love battle royales. Call of Duty hasn't been good to me. Madden is a pay to win game. I don't want to play that. 2K, I've never been like an online 2K player. I like playing 2K for the offline. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. And that's the other thing too, right? Is like I understand that. And so to Panda's point about it, you know, not getting there overnight, it's I understand that, and that's why I continue to try to stream, because I know it takes time. I'm I'm just giving out faith that I'm going to find a game that I enjoy playing and that people like watching me play. And so hopefully there's a games coming out, especially X Defiant, that has my interest very much. And so like I can't wait until X Defiant comes out, because I'm hoping that's the game. I'm not putting it all my marbles in that game. Like if I play the game and the game doesn't give me any momentum, then I'm okay. I'll be fine. And then like I said, if you guys didn't know this, I had left Walmart for um I left Walmart to stream, and I told myself I'm going to give myself a year. I feel like a year is a long time. It's short enough, but it's also long enough. It's both ways. You know, like I feel like a year doesn't put me into like a depressive state, you know? Like we're already at 6 months me trying to stream and make YouTube videos and be back on TikTok content. So, I wouldn't stop streaming, but I would definitely less focus on it. I would have checked that box in my head that I have tried streaming. And that was the one thing that I was going through when I was working at Walmart is I thought I was good at Call of Duty. I thought I was good at playing video games. And so like I was like, let me stream it. And it was like one of those things where like, man, like I could make a lot of money streaming playing video games. And like I know not everything is about money. Hence why I stepped away from Walmart, because I knew I wasn't going to make money. Exactly. If you find a game you like, people will notice and gravitate toward it. And that's just the best way to explain it. And you know, there's a lot of games that like I thought I loved. Maybe I did, but like I don't. You know, like after door dashing for 5 to 6 hours and I come home, I should want to play the game. And when I don't have games I want to play, there's an issue there. And so I'm going to give it time. I'm going to continue to make these podcasts, these random like talking podcasts. I kind of like this. This is something that like I enjoy, but I would also want to be able to play video games. Like it's a stress releaser. Like it would be nice to be able to hop on and be like, yo, like let's play with the squad or whatever. So again, I'm looking out for X Defiant. Hopefully X Defiant comes out and it's solid. Um, I'm gonna continue to give you guys, you know, my thoughts. I want to be open on you know on this channel. On this channel, like I really want people to relate to a lot of the stuff that I go through, because I'm no by no, I am in no by. I'm not perfect. There you go. I'm not perfect, but I'm also not the worst person in the world. I'm like right in the middle, which I think should be able to relate to more people. And so, like, obviously, I know a lot of people want to listen to the best people, but I feel like a lot of the best people sometimes forget how to relate. Whereas, like, I'm in the middle of growing and being in the middle with everybody. And I see when my life is changing and when things are getting better. I also see when they're going bad, and I can usually walk myself through it. And so with streaming struggles, right? That is one of those things, right? This is one thing in my my life right now that's like, man, I really wish this was better than where it's at right now. Um I'm not beating myself up about it. I just know that I either got to try something different or I got to, you know, give it a little bit more time. But I know that like after a year, I will probably move on. And that's not me quitting. I'm just saying, like, I will have checked the box that I have tried streaming fully. It's not for me. Maybe I still stream on the side and maybe I get it back later down the road, but I can move on. I can accept the fact that I tried it and I like can move on and go try other things and know that like I've tried it. And so that's that's where my head is at. Panda, you make a great point with that. If you find a game you like, that's. I thought it was Call of Duty. I thought it was going to be Call of Duty. Obviously, I started out with Fortnite because obviously I did not want to play Modern Warfare 2. And so Modern Warfare 3 comes out, so I tried that. Modern Warfare 3 is a joke, and I'm going to talk about that next. And then, you know, I tried streaming Madden a little bit, and again, Madden's a joke. So, but with that being said, I want to transition to kind of like what we already touched on and, you know, the games and the issue, but I want to get more specific. So I know we've probably talked about this a little bit, but I want to talk about, you know, Call of Duty and SBMM. So who was it that, I forgot who talked about it. Blame Truth. If you guys know who Blame Truth is, he calls him the COD father. He definitely has been around Call of Duty forever. So if there's anything that you want to learn about Call of Duty or talk about with Call of Duty, go to his channel. He cares. And that's where I want to get into, because the point of this topic is SBMM is not the only, I said no, the only problem, but it's not the only problem. And I don't want people to get this confused. SBMM is a problem in itself. Nobody wants to play even games every game and have to try hard to just go even. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody in the world wants to play a game where they have the opportunity to get better at the game, and then when they get better at the game, they are better than other people. Now, the argument that a lot of people have with SBMM is they say, oh, well, you know, certain people shouldn't be allowed to play with certain people. You know, like if I'm a brand new player, I shouldn't be playing against, you know, Optic Scumpy. Yeah, you should. Like in a public game where everybody has access to that game, yes, everybody should be able to play everybody. Now, if we're talking about a ranked game mode, that is different. If I am the worst, you know, rank versus the top rank, I should not be playing them, because I'm going to get destroyed every game. But if I'm in a public lobby and I just happen to run into that person, you know, Optic Scumpy, that is fine. I relate that to like any like you have school, you have like, what else am I trying to say? You have schools, and you have like you know, you have baseball, football. I'm going to use baseball for instance. In Little League, you have different ages of groups of players, right? The reason why they're separated is because clearly the older you get, the physical natures of your body are much stronger and faster than the younger ages. And so it would be very, very unfair for them to play together. But just because I played in a age group doesn't mean that I have to play the same level of talent in that age group, if that makes any sense. So if I go play, so we call it the small field, the middle field, and the big field. That's how we called it in our Little League baseball. When you got to the big field, and I was there because I actually moved up early, I was the worst player on the team, on the field. But because there's no forcing of me being on the same, you know, like having to be like, they're not doing anything for me. Like when I go up there and they know I'm the youngest and the worst player on the team, it's not like the pitcher has to throw slower for me. They don't do that. I got to deal with whatever pitcher's on the mound. And so that's what Call of Duty is not doing. They're saying that like they're saying that everybody has to play even. Every game has to be a 5-5 game going into the 7th inning. That's not fun. No one wants to play that all the time. Anyways, that gets off to the point of that's off the topic, but like I just wanted to break that down real quick. Again, SBMN itself is a problem. If you don't understand that by now, like you have a problem. And but it still isn't the only problem. I will argue SBMM is bad for Call of Duty all day long. But my biggest thing about Call of Duty that we keep forgetting to, we're so headstrong on SBMM. And I've watched other YouTube videos like Merc Music, and he just came out with a video talking about how much fun he's having on Call of Duty. And my argument is so the first definition is, how long is Call of Duty supposed to last? Right? This is from the developers, from Activision, also from the player base. What's the true length of Call of Duty and how long it's supposed to last? As my light just started falling. And now it's stuck. Okay, cool. And so I say that to say this. If Call of Duty is meant to last a month or two, okay. I could argue that we could talk about how Call of Duty is good. But here's the problem. Is Call of Duty is not good and doesn't last that long for me, but for a lot of people. And what I mean by that is obviously the first month of the game, and probably, let's be honest, from the game time comes out to the end of December, people are still unlocking things. People are learning how to play maps. People are learning, what weapons they like. And then once January hits and February hits, that's when the state of flow comes in for the game. What I've noticed is that, especially for me, since Modern Warfare 2019, the games have not been fun in that early stage of the game. You should feel like that when you're playing the game the first 2 months you should enjoy it because you know that you're learning how the game works. And I'm going to get into this because I really want you guys to understand where I'm going. The bigger problem, the first problem that everybody's going to point to is skill-based matchmaking. Yes, that is a big problem that makes the first 2 months of the Call of Duty not fun. And that's why the player base drops off so quickly, because the first 2 months of the game is you sweating your balls off and you're not having fun when you're doing it. Okay. Then we go into the actual talking points of the game. Let's talk about the player base. Well, the first thing that most people do when they play the Call of Duty is they go for camos. So not only are you dealing with skill-based matchmaking and the best players that you have to play against every match, you're now playing against them running around doing stupid wacko stuff that doesn't make any sense to the game. Now, I agree that is a public match. Players are allowed to do whatever they want. The problem is that I am not fully equipped, because I don't have everything unlocked, to deal with some of the stuff that these people are trying to do. Obviously, if you're running around with a knife, a lot of people are going to run around with a stun, or they're going to run around with, the riot shield on their back, which they finally nerfed, by the way. But because I don't have all that stuff unlocked, it's also fun. It's still a viable play. Still a viable play style in the early of the game. And that's why, later in the game, it becomes a lot easier to deal with. But again, my argument is, why are we waiting till January and February for the game to be fun? You know what I'm saying? And that is a big part of skill-based matchmaking. But now let's get into the intricacies of it. So you have the player base sweating their balls off, and then obviously you have people trying to get camos. Now, a lot of people are going to argue, well, after the camos, they get to play the game normally. Well, are they going to play the game normally? Probably not. They're still going to run around and do things, which goes into my third main point before I dive in deep on the game. The third point is due to that, there is a lack of, again, how do I say this? The lack of intent to play the game mode, right? You know, everybody thinks that Call of Duty is just you just hop in and you run around and you get kills when it's just hasn't, that's not the case, right? Domination is where you're supposed to capture your home flag, the B flag, and you're supposed to hold it. People don't do that. They rush past it and they flip the spawns, which then makes it not fun for everybody else because, you know, it flips spawns. It just makes it's unorganized. You have hard point where people don't jump on the hard point. They run around. They try to play team deathmatch. You know, team deathmatch, people just camp because they don't have to move. You know, if I'm correct, search and destroy is probably the only game mode that actually makes sense. You know, where if you're gonna do something stupid, you're gonna get roasted. You're not roasted, but you're gonna get destroyed if you're doing the wrong thing in search and destroy. So, with that being said, you have people that are sweating their balls off, trying to run around and kill everybody. They're using random shit that you don't have counters to just yet. And due to that, nobody's playing the objectives. So that, and then obviously, skill-based matchmaking. So you have all that, and I'm hopping on. I haven't played Call of Duty in 4 years consistently. And every year that I play the game for the first month, I struggle my ass off, and I don't want to play. And I'm not asking for easy lobbies. You know what I'm saying? I'm not asking for, you know, what's it say? Like, I'm not asking to do that. Like, I just want to hop on and have fun. And I can have fun sweating, right? That's what I did my entire young career, trying to get good at the game. I was trying to get good at the game, so I was sweating. There was obviously, though, games that I would take off and I would use a shotgun, or I would, you know, run around with some stupid setup. That was my break. But then it was like, if I knew I ran into a little bit of tryhards, I would put my meta weapon back on. But now let's dive deep. With all that set up, you have all that going on. Now let's get into the actual meat and potatoes. Call of Duty hasn't made a good game since probably Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare. Okay? And let me explain. Maps have not been good. Call of Duty maps have not been good. Every good Call of Duty map in the past 5-6 years has been a remaster of an older Call of Duty. And honestly, I would argue that the maps that are in Modern Warfare 3 right now aren't even as good as they were before, because now the gameplay is different, you know, and the movement is faster. And they changed a lot of the stuff. Like, PowerPoints aren't PowerPoints anymore because you can climb on anything. You know, you have again, like, one of the problems that I have was obviously Hardpoint was probably, the Hardpoint is trash, and they had to remove it because they couldn't do it right, because Hardpoint wasn't in the original mindset back then. So trying to put it in now, the maps aren't made for Hardpoint. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not sure what makes a good Hardpoint map. I'm probably pretty sure that to make a Hardpoint map, you have to think about the map when you go to make it. So the fact that they used remastered maps that did not have Hardpoint in their mind makes Hardpoint not playable. It also talks about domination. Domination is trash on all Modern Warfare 3 maps, the remastered Modern Warfare 2 maps. And even in Modern Warfare 2, they're just trash. I don't like how they don't think about Hardpoint. You know, I think about certain game modes, like Capture the Flag is not in Modern Warfare 3, and it hasn't been consistently in Call of Duty since before Infinite Warfare. I don't even think it was in Black Ops 4, was it? Was it even in World War II? I don't remember the last time Capture the Flag was in the game. So, you know, you have trash maps, and I'm not even just saying the remastered. I'm saying all these maps are trash. You know, obviously Modern Warfare 2019, porous fucking maps with corners and rooms that don't like lead to nowhere, and there's no reason for people to be in there. You know, everybody loves Shoot House. Shoot House is a trash ass map. If you think about the idea of Shoot House, like, it's stupid. You know, it's just a bad map. And I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for that, but Shoot House is not good competitive map, because the problem is you think about one of the best maps, small maps in the game, is Nuketown. Why is Nuketown so good? Because it's a simple 3-lane map where once you pass your threshold of the map, you are now open to being shot from all sides, right? Relative to how good the player is. So for instance, if you think about Nuketown and you pass the building, you now have to make choices. You either have to sit on the right side, the left side, or you have to go to the middle. And that's the holding point, right? Everybody knew that once you got to the buses and the truck, that was your stopping point. You knew that if you pushed into the base too far, they would flip spawns. It made it easy for everybody to understand. Shoot House is a clusterfuck. I don't know why people love Shoot House. And Shipment, on the other hand, Shipment, we all understand Shipment is not, Shipment is a meme. It is a meme map. It is just so you can just do your camel challenges. And that's another thing too, is they throw these, and Rust 2 is somewhat of a meme map. Rust is a little more bearable than Shipment and more bearable than, what's it called? Shoot House. But it's just not like, those maps are not like, they're not viable. So maps out the way. Okay. Maps have not been good in Call of Duty since, I enjoyed Infinite Warfare, but a lot of people are probably not gonna like that game. Black Ops 4, maybe? But again, I didn't like Black Ops 4 because they had all this equipment that could deny it. But I'm not gonna argue that. Let's talk about weapons. Okay. Here's my defense for the weapons. I appreciate the idea of when you changed your attachments, it changes the way the weapon looks. I like that. What I don't like is the fact that there's 15,000 attachments that I have to fucking cipher through to figure out which attachment is the best attachment. And in a video game, I shouldn't be dissecting. Mind you, let me rephrase what I just said. Let me take away video game. Let me talk about Call of Duty. From Call of Duty 4, let's start with Call of Duty 4. Call of Duty 4, World at War, Black Ops, was it Black Ops 1? No, it went Modern Warfare 2. So Call of Duty 4 and World at War, same idea. Different time era. Very simple. If you play Call of Duty 4 and World at War, you can hop back back and forth between each game, and you can still understand what's going on. Simple perk system, simple attachments. You go to Modern Warfare 2. Very simple. Okay? They gave you a little bit more weapons and a little bit more, like they gave you an attachment that you could wear. You could have bling, which gives you multiple attachments. But again, the perks are still the same. Same idea. All right. Then you go to Black Ops 1, same idea. Then you go to Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 3, same idea. Then they added proficiencies in Modern Warfare 3. But then in Black Ops 2, they had the pick tick system where you can have multiple perks. You can have six attachments on your weapon, but you had to sacrifice. And that's the problem that we're running into, is you're making it hard for new players, which is what you want, and people that are not as good at the game. And this could be at all levels, right? Like for someone who maybe just raw talent, maybe let's say there's 3 tiers. There's the trash tier, the mid tier, and the good tier. If I'm mid tier and I'm trying to get to good tier and I have to deal with all these attachments, I'm never going to get to good tier because there's too much going on. Simple stuff. Give me a red dot. Give me an ACOG. Give me a thermal sight. Maybe give me a dual sight where it has a ACOG / canted aim, and call it a day. Give me a suppressor. Give me a muzzle brake that has vertical recoil and horizontal recoil. And then give me something else. That's it. Give me underbarrel attachments, shotgun attachment, fire flamethrower, grenade launcher, and grip. Like, can we make it simple? And each one should change the weapon. Here's where I'm going to help you out, Call of Duty. You then give those attachments skins, which you already have in the game, which then will not like color skins. I'm saying skins as in it changes what the barrel looks like. So if I put long barrel on, it should change. I should be able to pick whichever long barrel I want. I shouldn't have 5 to 6 long barrels that look different, that have different stats. I'm going to lose my fucking mind on trying to figure out what my weapon should be doing, right? Assault rifles should be good at mid-range, but I can make an assault rifle a submachine gun and I can make an assault rifle a sniper rifle. I'm going to lose my fucking mind, right? I want to use the best assault rifle when I'm playing tryhards, right? I want to know what the best assault rifle is. And then when I want to like play different styles, I should be able to use different assault rifles, right? If I'm a more slow-paced, aim down sight type of player, I'll probably use an AK. If I'm a person that's going to run around a little bit more, but I understand engagements and I can be in the mid-range, I'm going to use an M4. Like that should be the as far as complex as I should get. I shouldn't be talking about how I can put a sniper fucking stock on my AK and now it's the fucking RPK or some shit. Or whatever the Dragunov. Like I shouldn't be able to do all that. Just give me the Dragunov sniper rifle. Like I want to be connected to the weapon, right? By knowing that like, hey, what's your favorite weapon? Oh, the AK is your favorite weapon? That's crazy because I'm really good with the AK as well. Hey, let's go into this match so you can get the most kills with the AK. Bro goes into the match now with an AK with a fucking no stock. It's a fucking AK-74U. What the fuck? Like, bro, like that's too much. It's too much. Simple weapons, simple attachments. Okay? That's a really big problem. All right? Let's move into the perk system. Bro, when's the last time Call of Duty had a good perk system? I don't even fucking remember. Call of Duty, Activision, let me talk to you publishers. Let me tell you something. You want depth in your game, right? You want depth in your game? Bring back pro perks. Why is this so fucking hard? Why is this so fucking hard for y'all to understand? You give me 8 to 10, I don't even know how many boots there is in the game. But you give me all them fucking boots and gear and shit, and they do one thing. How about you give me 4 to 5 solid perks in each category, and they have multiple effects on them. And to unlock those multiple effects, I need to use those perks in a certain way. If I'm going to use Dead Silence, right? There should be a challenge that allows me to unlock Dead Silence and then like no fall damage. So what do I have to do? You have to survive falling 10 feet 10 times. Why is that so hard? Why do we have to take away the depth? And then, I'll get into this, but like, and then the vests. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck are vests? Like, why is there duplicate stuff? What I can get in a vest, I can get in a perk. What I can get in a perk, I can get in a field upgrade. What I can get in a field upgrade, I can get in equipment. That's not, how do I say that? That's not choice. That's not depth. That's lack of depth. Because there's no need for me to try to figure out what's the best thing to use, because no matter what, I can use it all at any given time. And I'm going to get into that because I do like that idea, but I think you should earn it. But again, perks. And this kind of ties into all of this. Just bring back the pick 10 system. Fuck you, Infinity Ward, for not letting Sledgehammer do the pick 10 system. And I just don't understand. It was the best system in the game. If you wanted to run multiple attachments, you had to sacrifice. You had to sacrifice on your weapon, your secondary. You had to sacrifice on how many attachments that weapon had. You had to sacrifice on either equipment. You had to sacrifice on perks. It's such a good system. So I don't understand why it's so hard for them to realize that it's such a good system and it adds depth. It adds replayability for the different combinations you can get. It adds the ability to now have a sense of purpose on making extra classes. You know, a class that's, has, maybe you're playing against someone who's throwing 2 stuns. So now you need a class that has 2 trophy systems and flat jacket and tactical mask. Well, now you're going to have to sacrifice on your weapon and how many attachments it has. It brings your bout, like, you want everybody to play even. Why not just make the game even instead of forcing people to play even? You know? And if I outsmart you, let me outsmart you. And that ties me into the kill streaks. All right. We've seen the same fucking kill streaks for the longest fucking time. All right. Obviously, there's staples of Call of Duty. UAV is a staple. Got it. Counter UAV is a staple. Care package is a staple. Airstrike is a staple. I got that. I'm all for staple kill streaks. They need to be in the game. But why haven't we adapted? And like, what's the, like, did we forget that like Modern Warfare 2 into all the way to Black Ops 2, because it went Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, into Black Ops 2, like how great that era was for kill streaks and how important they were to the game. Now, I still think that all those games could have done better, but I think if I'm going to argue, and hear me out, Modern Warfare 2 had the best kill streaks when it came to kill whoring. When you were a pub stomper, bro, they had the best. Those kill streaks rained terror on people. Enemy AC 130 above. Like, chopper gunner inbound. Like, bro, you did not want to hear that shit. Tactical nuke incoming. Like, bro, that shit was lit. But the best variety of kill streaks, Modern Warfare 3, the original. You had your pub stomping kill streaks that get you kills. You had your support kill streaks. Now, to be fair, they had the stealth bomber in there. I don't think that should have been in there. And then you had your specialist. Again, I don't understand why they went away from that. Specialist is probably one of the most innovative kill streak type things you could have added. And the thing is you had pro perks in that game. And so when you had all your pro perks maxed out and you got specialist and you got that strong arm and you got that strong arm at kill 7 or kill 8, whichever, if you were using hard line, and then all of a sudden you just started flying across the map, no one could hear you. You felt like a super soldier. It was probably one of the most awesome feelings you could have as a Call of Duty player. And they took it away. The ability to switch in mid-game to a different class with a different set of kill streaks because you realized you were playing sweats, or vice versa. You realized you were playing good players and you switched to kill streaks so you can get more kills. Why do you take that away? That's depth. That's not only depth in creating your class, that's depth within the game itself. That adds more replayability to the game. And you took it away from us. I appreciate the fact that you have kill streaks and then you have support, like you have kill streaks and score streaks. By default should be score streaks. And then you just have the selected, here's your kill streaks, here's your support streaks, here's your specialist. And with a pick 10 system, you could do it easily. Because what you would do is, if you wanted to run 6 perks, let's say it was 6 perks. Let's say it was the same thing as Black Ops 2. Obviously, you would have 6 perks, but you wouldn't have weapon attachments. So it would just depend on what you want to do. You could run 6 perks, no attachments, and then you would run specialist. But now you're running around with a weapon without suppressor on it. Or you could kind of peek with it and maybe you sacrifice, because eventually you're going to get all the perks. But in that case, you won't have all the... Maybe if you run specialist, you couldn't pick all the perks. It's a thought. So, to my point though, is maps have been bad. Weapons are too much, too overbearing, too many perks. I mean, too many attachments, too many different things that could change your weapon at like any given time, and there's too many things to try to counter, which means you don't counter anything. You're getting pooped on all the time. The perk system, the gunner vest, trash. Last year's perk system was stupid as hell. And then this year's perk system, there's just perks that are useless and attachments that are, like the vests that are duplicate of the perk. Use the gunner vest, and if you use the mag holster, you get this effect of something else. But the gunner vest gives you mag holster effect. The fuck? Why not just use that perk that you would get? Now, does it stack? But it tells you it doesn't stack. You see what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you have the kill streaks. And before I move on to touch on the kill streaks, is the kill streaks that are in the game, there needs to be more kill streaks that revolve around the objectives. Things that could help you in the game that help with the objective, And so hopefully that's something they can think about. I think just for simplicity, right? Imagine if there's a kill streak that has players, like let's say you call in, let's call them the SWAT team, whatever. SWAT team. And they drop down and they defend an objective. And they're easy to kill, right? Let's not make it difficult, but they last for like a minute. You got call in a kill streak and they last for a minute. And it's like a turret, but it circles the point. So you're not gonna be able to run into the point. Maybe there's 8 of them. 2 facing one way, 2 facing another way, 2 facing another way, 2 facing another way, or maybe they're spread out in a circle. And yeah, they're gonna be decent. And to kill them, you have to shoot them or you have to throw grenades at them. And obviously, the more you kill, the less they're not going to be able to just turn or, they probably could, depending on how strong they are. But that's something. All right, let's move into the last and final topic. All right. Again, like I said, skill-based matchmaking is a problem, but the problem with Call of Duty is they're just not making good games. So with that being said, let's get into the final topic, gym and diet. All right, so if you guys are into the fitness era world, hopefully you guys can enjoy this. I just want to kind of touch on a little bit of things that I've been through. I've been working out, I've been eating healthy, and the one thing that I want to tell you guys is the eating healthy part is hard. And I think we all can agree to that. The eating healthy is very, very difficult. But I would also argue that the gym in itself is hard too, because it's trying to keep the motivation of going every day that you set yourself. Obviously you may take days off, but going every day that you need to go. And so my journey has definitely been crazy. I started out back in 2021, the beginning of that year, worked out all year, and I've missed times I've missed. And I think what I had to realize is that, I got to commit to it more, fully commit to, what I want to do with my body. And so that's what I've been doing the past 2 weeks. I've been hitting the weights. I've been trying, stuff that I've been a little bit scared of per se. I just got to not worry about what people think and all that stuff. So I'm not, also, dieting. I've been, being a lot more disciplined. As you guys can see, I'm drinking water. I stopped drinking coffee. I'm actually getting hungry right now because your boy's hungry. But I've been eating very healthy, eating my oatmeal, and all that stuff. So if you're out there and you're trying to work out, just know that it's not easy. And you're going to have to just have the discipline to continue to do it. Find the right people around you that are going to motivate you, that are on the same wavelength, or, at least find people that are just not going to push you the other way. If you got a friend that likes to go to McDonald's every day, bro, cut him off. We don't got time for that. We need to be able to have discipline to say no, even find people that want to help you, right? If they're yo, we need to grab food, yo, but I understand you're not eating right. So let's go here and, maybe we can grab this, stuff like that. Or even when someone's at the gym, someone that's going to push you, but not coach you, right? We all don't like those coaches out there. I know this section was a little short, but I just want to tell you guys, hey, like I said, I have a TikTok channel, AwesomeBeds24. I don't know if is that one in the description? You guys will let me know, but I'm gonna end it there. like I said, streaming struggles. We definitely talked about a good length of that. I want you guys to understand that like we all go through struggles and we just have to continue to push through. We have to set our goals for ourselves and our expectations and try to meet them. And, you know, eventually, like I said, the light will click. Either it leads you in the direction, you know, like of success, or it leads you in the direction of maybe you need to try something different. And so that's where my path is at right now. I'm at the crossroads. I'm not sure if I should continue or if I should go the other way. I have given myself a time frame, so we're gonna wait on that. SBMM is not the only issue with Call of Duty. SBM is a big problem, but it is also the fact that they just don't make good Call of Duties. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're gonna hold them accountable. I don't care whether it's the publishers or Activision. They all are failing at something. There is something going on wrong. If the developers have short time, that's on the Activision team for pushing them to make a game in a short amount of time. But I would also argue that's on the publishers for not defending themselves and stepping up and holding their, you know, Activision accountable and saying like the stats prove themselves, you know, and take accountability for the fact that you guys are not defending yourself. And you guys need to let them know that this is not enough time to make a video game. So it's everybody's fault. It's not one. And it also is on the players. It's on the consumers. You know, it's been finally, but it has been damn near too long that we have step back and say, we're not paying for this game. You know, and it's crazy. It takes for them to bamboozle everybody, but it wasn't a bamboozle to think that they were going to try to bamboozle, that it was going to be a $70 game when it was literally a $70 DLC. People definitely got turned off by that. And then obviously with Jim and Diet, you know, it's tough. We're all struggling out here, but we're all trying to be better. And so I say, set goals and try to do them the best you can. Don't beat yourself up. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks. You know, just focus on what you can focus on, and that's what you can do at the gym and what you can do outside eating healthy. You know, start somewhere. If it's like something simple of like, if you drink a lot of soda, stop drinking soda. Start there. Do that for 90 days and then switch to something else. Like now, maybe you supplemented that with coffee. All right. Now stop drinking coffee. So one step at a time and you'll figure it out. Hey, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know when the next time is going to be. Just stand out. I will probably try to stream tonight. It depends. Depends on if I want to play a video game. I don't know. We'll see. If you guys would like to see that, you know, leave a comment. Probably play Fortnite. But yeah, that's really only the game mode that I probably play right now. Game is Fortnite. Again, like I said, I'm excited for X-Defiant. I know it's been delayed 14 times, but I want to play it. I can't wait to play it. It seems like it has a better. I'm not a big fan of like specialist type deal. I'm not a fan of free abilities. That's why I love Call of Duty so much. But they have added free abilities. Field upgrade. I hate that. I hate free abilities. But if it works in a game, then it's okay to understand, because then you understand what you got to counter and you understand which each player has. Right? That's the other thing. Like when you see a specialist, when you see a character, you should know what abilities they have so you know how to counter that person, or at least try to figure out how to counter it. So like I said, if the abilities help me win games by myself and help my team, then I'm okay with that. If the abilities are kind of selfish and annoying, and they're just annoying and they don't really do anything, then I don't want that in my game. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys' time. I hope you guys have a good Christmas, good holiday. I hope you guys have a good, fun time. And I hope that your new year is fun for you guys. And I hope you guys have your New Year's resolutions planned out. And hopefully I'll probably do a stream before then, but just to get it out of the way if I don't. But with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next one.